Yes, sure. Right. Oh my gosh, about my earth, I don't have any green on. Fuck, that's unnecessary. I walked into Rebecca's office and William's office and
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and call this meeting to order. We'll begin with roll call.
Senator Bergera.
Here.
Senator Orjaco. Senator Flournoy. Senator Gassou. Senator Smith Marshall. Senator Mitchell. Senator Szilard. Senator Williams. Senator Joyce. Senator Ontiveros. Senator Ochiocha. Senator Armstrong. Senator Dumas. Senator Lubale. Senator Guerrero. Senator Arantes. Senator Khalid. Senator Lopez. Senator Goldthorpe. Senator Yezek.
Senator Yezek present.
Senator Muta.
Present.
Senator Meyer. Senator Emmix. Senator Taylor. Senator Baker. Senator Whitsett. Senator Sita.
Okay. I sent out the minutes yesterday. You guys should have had a chance to look at them. All those in favor of the minutes, please raise your hand. Okay, thank you. All those opposed? And any abstentions? Okay, that passes. Is anyone here for open forum? Seeing none, we'll move on to committee reports for events.
Events committee met last week and finalized everything for Midnight Breakfast. We have our order for decorations is sent to Josh. We have a playlist that is finalized and everything's good to go. We're really excited for next week. Later today, and more of this is going to come in new business. I think we have a QR code for people to know what, like where you want to volunteer at during Midnight Breakfast. So be thinking about that. And then, yeah, it's gonna be a great event. I think we have everything lined up. We're going to be showing a movie beforehand on the plaza at 8 p.m. Lilo and Stitch. It's a great movie. But But no, besides that, everything's good to go. I think we're really excited, and hopefully it's going to be a great event. So it's going to be a busy couple days.
Secretary Coburn, Communications met yesterday, and we confirmed last changes for the newsletter. We settled on naming it the SGAZ and picked out some colors, and then we worked on a flyer for the TV promoting Midnight Breakfast.
Rules, Chief of Staff Medina, for rules got canceled to a prior commitment. But I sent out a poll where I added important topics we should talk about in future meetings and send it to the rules committee. Group me. The poll ended today, so you're not able to vote anymore. And the topic that won was executive board responsibilities, which I believe will help all senators who are interested in being part of the executive board in the future and to make sure their e-board is being responsible with their role. And to make changes if we think there should be any changes, like adding the newsletter as a secretary duty, which was discussed in last meeting. So if you're interested in this topic, please join us on Thursdays at 7 p.m.
Nice, thank you. Moving on to student voice reports, freshmen. You don't have anyone from the freshman class. Moving on to sophomore class. Junior class. Okay, moving on. For my voice report, Monday of spring break, I met with Dr. Ferguson. I gave him my final recommendation for scooters on campus. And spring break was fine. I got to go to the women's basketball game. It was really nice seeing them up there at Texas Women's. They did pretty good. They kind of got cheated on Saturday, but nonetheless, I had my HOP committee meeting today. We discussed moving the MOP to the HOP and the section that falls under like student organizations. Additionally, for next meeting, we'll be discussing on the student side, adding some more policies, adding a section for the med school students under the HOP. Additionally, I had the pleasure of being in the process of selecting the new dean for the School of Nursing Monday and today, and I will put forth my final recommendation soon.
Vice President Burns, for my officer report, it's been a busy couple of weeks with Midnight Breakfast coming up. I finalized the final decorations list and sent it to Josh, so hopefully that will be here in time. And then I responded and finalized the quote for the movie, so hopefully we can get a purchase order for that, so that's a go. And then today I went around campus and I hung up some flyers that Secretary Coburn had made. And so there's a flyer in every single building on campus now for Midnight Breakfast, so that's a plus. And then I emailed over something that Hayden had made for the TVs for Midnight Breakfast. So trying to get some promotional material out there and really get things, get the word out there so we can have as many students as possible that know about Midnight Breakfast that want to come to Midnight Breakfast. And then finalizing everything for that has been extremely busy. And then we finalized the playlist for music. And then today, hopefully, we're going to get everyone's assignments, what they want to do for volunteering so that I can work on finalizing that for the rest of this week and finalize the org tables. But yeah, thank you. That's it.
Secretary Coburn, over this break, I worked on the minutes and I uploaded the YouTube videos, as well as working on some flyers for Midnight Breakfast.
Chief of Staff Medina, I actually attended an SGAC meeting 2 weeks ago, which was very interesting to see how everything worked in that that committee. And Josh gave me access to all the SGA documents and emails that I needed to get access to finally. And I confirmed that there are no changes at the Constitution so far this semester, which all of the moving around. So I think there are plenty of changes that can be made, and I will make sure to work on those changes in future rules committees meetings.
Okay, moving on to old business. Does anyone have anything to add to old business? Seeing none, I entertain a motion to close new business. All those in favor, please raise your hand. Okay, thank you. All those opposed? And any abstentions? Okay, I entertain a motion to open new business. I entertain a motion to open special elections. Okay, we have two candidates here for special election. Our first candidate is for the School of Health Professions.
Hi, everyone. My name is Joshua Okafor, and I would love to be elected as a health professions senator. As a student in the health science field, I understand the challenges we face, whether it's balancing schoolwork and preparing for our future careers. I want to join SGA so I can represent experiences and help create a healthy environment for the health profession field. I'm passionate about serving others, and I see this position as a way to give back to our community. Thank you.
Oh. Joshua, do you want to stand up here for questions for the board? Does anyone have any questions? Seeing none, will you step out while we deliberate? Okay, what did everyone think? Senator Orjaka.
Senator Arajaka, I think he would be a great addition to the Student Government Association. And yes.
Thank you. President Okafor, I will clear the elephant in the room. That is my brother. I spent the last semester kind of, coaxing him and telling him the pros and the cons, and he's well aware of the responsibilities of this role. So I think he's very well prepared. Did someone say this? Oh, Senator Dumas.
Thank you. The only thing I was actually going to pose a question is the College of Health Sciences, the health professions in specific, do we have any representation from them? Okay. So how many seats do they have? Do we know? 3? Okay. That answers my question. Is we have 1 senator and we're looking at 2. Okay, perfect. All right. There we go.
Senator Gassu.
Senator Gassu, I motion to begin the voting process.
Wait, do that. That was seconded. All those in favor of Joshua, please raise your hand. Okay, thank you. All those opposed? And any abstentions? Okay, as we welcome Joshua in, give him a big round of applause to let him know. Okay, our next candidate is for the senior class, and it's Amaya. Will you please stand? Maya, yes.
Okay. Hello, my name is Amaya Richmond. Most of y'all know me, but I'm from Terrell, Texas, and I graduated class of 2025. I'm hopeful of fulfilling a position in Student Government Association, just because I do have prior experience in fulfilling leadership roles and communication. When I was in high school, I did serve as class parliamentarian. I was Secretary of National Honor Society, and I did hold a position in student council, and I was a member of Key Club, which is basically community service-based work. And through there, I sort of learned that I did love servicing people. And I guess I sort of realized my problems weren't as big as I thought through talking with people. So I thought that was a really big pro. I'm really good with organization, and I think that communication is probably one of my bigger skill sets. I touched on that a second ago, but I think that a lot of the problems that I found throughout my school was through talking with people. That's something people typically avoid doing. But I would love to fulfill that role, and I just thank you all for your time.
Does anyone have any questions? Senator Dessou?
I'm sorry, what's your major again?
It's
Sorry. It was on or off? Sorry, I mean,
you can still hear me, I guess. But I major in history and I minor in law.
and what are you running for again? I'm so sorry.
No, I didn't say senior. What is? If I'm saying that right.
I can put some questions too. You guys feel like you guys might be confused.
Is it about how I'm a senior? Okay.
Very finicky.
It's finicky.
Maya is a senior by credits. So she is a freshman this year, but she has credits designating her as a senior. Okay, so Maya, will you walk out and we will deliberate? Okay, Senator Dessou?
Senator Gasu here. I personally met Maya. She's really great at communicating. I've spoken to her about a lot of issues, and I feel like she would be a great addition to just go ahead and understand what the people that are leaving the school, what they would like to see once they come back as alumni. So I think she'll be a great addition to SGA.
Oh, there we go.
Senator Mitchell, I also agree with that take. Knowing her, she is very outspoken. I feel like she's going to get a lot of stuff done, especially as a senator. So I will say that I think she should be elected into SGA. Okay, and I motion to vote, right? Yes, I motion to vote. Sorry.
I'm happy you guys are finally motioning though. Okay, all those in favor, please raise your hand. Okay, thank you. And all those opposed? And any abstentions? Okay, that's amazing. As Maya walks into the room, please make sure to give her a big round of applause. Okay, we have one more candidate, Breely, for College of Business.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Breely Norman. I'm a management major at the Souls College of Business, and I'm running for a Souls College of Business seat. And first off, I just wanted to say a little bit about me. Over the past few years, I've been very involved in volunteer work. And through my past high school experience, I'm also class of 2025. I was treasurer of NHS at my high school, and I also was student vice president of student council. So through student council, I led our school's first ever blood drive. It took some deliberation and advocation through our school's board, which is very tough and a long process. But I eventually got it passed through, which was a very big accomplishment for me. And then next off, as a treasurer, I managed funds and I tracked financials through the NHS organization. And it really taught me that there are various solutions to everything. Next off, through being here my first year at UT Tyler, I've built very strong connections with not only professors, but also students of many majors in the Souls College of Business. And I don't know, I've just built very strong connections and I've just like really felt the impact and I want to be a part of that impact. And I've sat through y'all's meetings and I really like what y'all are here for and what y'all stand for and what y'all talk about here. And I just really, really want to be a part of that. So thank you for your time and I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Does anyone have any questions for Breely? Seeing none, Breely, will you please exit while we deliberate? Okay. Questions, comments, or concerns? Senator Baker.
Thank you. All right, Senator Baker here. I know her very well. She is my roommate or one of my roommates. So I can personally say that I've seen her dedication to a lot of different things, especially when it's showing up for people, especially like since I live with her. But besides like me being biased towards her on an outside view, she is a very outspoken and dedicated person when it comes to doing things that matters.
Mitchell.
Not to be biased, but as a friend of Breely as well, I can definitely speak to that testament that she is an outspoken person. She likes to get things done really fast, so she's never really lacking behind, and she's always like really early to stuff. Like her time management is the best, way better than mine's. But like I said, I do think she is fit for that seat as well.
Thank you. Senator Orjaka.
Senator Arajaka, as someone who doesn't know her at all, not a friend, not a roommate, I have seen her come up to meetings and I feel like she has shown like dedication and commitment. And I would say like we should totally like she should like be elected into her seats. So with that, I'm going to motion to vote.
That was seconded. All those in favor of Breely, please raise your hand. Okay, thank you. All those opposed? And any abstentions? Okay, thank you. As Breely enters, please clap your hands. Okay, congratulations. Will those who are newly elected please stand as we perform our oath? And put your no, you're good. Put your right hand over your heart. Yeah. Yeah. Can you guys see? Right here. Okay. And repeat after me. I insert name. Do solemnly swear that I shall faithfully represent the interest of the student body of the University of Texas at Tyler, I shall dutifully uphold and preserve the Constitution and bylaws of the Student Government Association while ardently executing the office of insert position for the student body at the University of Texas at Tyler. Okay, is there anyone else here for a special election? Seeing none, I entertain a motion to end special election discussion. That was carried and seconded. All those in favor, please raise your hand. Okay, thank you. All those opposed? And any abstentions? Okay, I entertain a motion to discuss midnight breakfast.
Hi, everyone. Midnight Breakfast is next Tuesday. It really snuck up on us. But it's going to be can we blow that up a little bit? Yeah, that'll work. If you guys could please scan. Never mind. Bear with us. There we are. If you could please scan this QR code, it's for everyone to sign up for to volunteer for Midnight Breakfast and kind of what station you're going to be at. And just some of the potential options. I think I listed them all on there, or I know I did, but so I'm trying to remember them all. You can be in the Met, you can be at check-in, you can be doing karaoke in the PZ. I know last year we had a table for SGA at Midnight Breakfast specifically, just so so I opened that up as well if anyone's interested. And then I believe I also added a question in there about if you're interested in serving popcorn beforehand during the movie, which starts at 8 p.m. So that's going to be, we're going to need a lot of people for that, considering we're going to be decorating. But if we can't do that, Chuck also offered to have people in the UC do that. In the group me. I don't think it's in the group me yet, but it can be. Does anyone have any questions about midnight breakfast? Just before I give a spiel. Which one do you want to be in? Yeah. Yes. Oh, so by the way, the form, it's like you can check anything that you're interested in being in. But if you have like this is my favorite, I've done this for the last 2 years, you can put it in the preferences section below. That was kind of the point of that. I'll give everyone a minute to do that. While everyone's filling that out, let's kind of fill everybody in on the full plan. So everyone knows our theme is Patriot Paradise. And so as students walk in the door, they're going to be lining up outside, just like we did last semester, just to try to keep the crowd out of the UC. And then we're going to have the check-in section, and people can go, and then like down there where, I don't know if you guys remember when we did the tie-dye station. That was a cool thing about 2 semesters ago. We're going to do a bracelet making station. So we ordered like shell beads and different colored beads and things and like letters for people to make friendship bracelets, because it's like a thing you do on spring break, as I've been told. I don't know. I moved. I don't know what you guys did for spring break, but I moved. But yeah, essentially. And so then you're going to be able to go upstairs, get your t-shirts. We're going to have some round tables set up so people have places to sit. And the first 200 people get lays, which is really awesome. We've never really done like a door prize for the first people in line. So that's a new thing. And then the movie on the plaza, I think, is the really big new thing that we are doing this semester. Having an event beforehand, I think, is really going to attract a lot of students, because I've
Senator Labale has a question.
Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Did I interrupt? I couldn't hear Hayden. Like I heard Hayden a little bit, and then the sound cut out. So I hope I didn't interrupt you, Hayden. Sorry. Um I was the question that I was gonna ask, so I know we kind of ran into this issue last year. Um you know how I think it's like the first 200 students that come in, last year we gave them like shirts. We only had shirts for the first 200 students who went up to the UC ballroom to like grab a shirt. However, we had ran out of shirts, but we were still giving students tickets for the shirts. And then they would, after we had ran out of shirts, students were still going up to the UC ballroom to like get a shirt, because us at the check-in were giving them tickets for a shirt, even though there was no more shirts left. So if like that's something that we're gonna do this year for midnight breakfast, is there a way to have like however many shirts that we have allotted for students, which last year I think it was 200, can we have that same amount of tickets allotted for students, like the actual first 200 students that get in get a ticket for their shirt and a ticket for their meal, instead of just giving students a ticket for a shirt when there's no more up there? Does that make sense? Like have the same amount of tickets as the same amount of shirts, so that way we're not just giving out tickets and there's no more shirts left. Hopefully that makes sense.
Yeah, Senator LaPaule, that makes perfect sense. But I'll clarify, we had about 700 t-shirts. And so the idea was that we'd give out tickets for a chance to get a t-shirt. It didn't necessarily guarantee them a t-shirt, just because some people would, what we saw in the past, some people would have a ticket, they lose their ticket, and then we have extra shirts to be given out, even though people don't have a ticket. Events committee and Hayden can talk a little bit more about what we're doing this semester.
Yeah, so for this semester, every single student that checks in is going to get a wristband. Events committee, and we've all kind of all been talking about it in e-board meetings. Just for safety reasons, we think it's kind of why we want to switch to wristbands, so that we can really be able to identify who is checked in and who is not. So when you're going around and you're volunteering, if you see a student not wearing a wristband, say, hey, have you checked in yet? If you haven't, then please go to the front of the UC to check in. And then for t-shirts, I believe we're kind of in between like doing a mark on the wristband to get your t-shirts, because if you have a wristband, you kind of have a chance to get a t-shirt, and then but like doing a little mark on it or something so that people can't come back and get two. And then for the Met, we have to do tickets because when I met with Jamie from Sodexo, he requested that we do tickets for the food so that they can keep the tickets so that they can have that for their count. So that's kind of the plan for this year. So the thing where if you have a wristband, if you're at midnight breakfast, it is still a chance to get a T-shirt. I believe we still have about roughly the same number. It's about 700, I think, right, Josh? 500 this year.
Senator Lubala, do you have another question? Okay. I also do want to clarify that last semester, something that was brought up was TJC students being able to check in. I spoke to Dr. Philly, and she said that we will not be having any TJC students in attendance at midnight breakfast, and that was her final word. Senator Gasu, do you still have a question? Senator Lubale.
Yes, ma'am. That's exactly what I was gonna ask, President Okafor, because I know last year I was at check-in. Me and a few, I believe Senator Guerra were also, and Senator Yezik, we were also at check-in last year, and that was kind of an issue. Not an issue, but I guess something that I wanted to ask about for midnight breakfast this year, because there were non-UT Tyler students that were attending, regardless if they went to TJC or just didn't go to school at all. And it was kind of weird having to check them in because we would have to write down their email like on a separate thing, and because we couldn't type in their student ID because they weren't a UT Tyler student. So I know you just said no TJC students would be attending, but is that the same for just non college students then? Because there were TJC students that would come with their UT Tyler friends, and then there were just students that like went to another university outside of Tyler, or just regular people that were coming to the event. So is that rule applying to them as well?
Yes, Senator Lubale, she said only UT Tyler students.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yes, Senator Gasu.
I have a question. So, wait, midnight breakfast starts at 10 p.m., right? Okay. So the thing is, I already know because I've been at multiple midnight breakfasts. People start lining up at like 6:37, and then people come out like 9:30 and skip the line. Is there something we're gonna do this year? Because last year it got really aggressive, and I know like the line wraps around, but we need some type of like crowd control so it doesn't happen to the people that have been sitting, and then they don't get a shirt, and then now it looks bad on SGA.
So, something we always do, like last semester, is we have people outside. So we have decorators, and then we have people delegated outside just to, kind of crowd control and make sure everything's going well. Additionally, we'll have the movie outside, so we'll have additional help out there, so they'll have eyes out and seeing what is going on. Hayden, do you want to touch a little bit more on the costume contest as well?
Yeah. So for the costume contest, hopefully, our plan right now, unless you guys have any, questions or concerns, is that the costume contest kind of takes place at 9 p.m. or not 9, sorry, 10 p.m. 11 p.m. halfway through midnight breakfast, and it's going to take place in the UC Theater, just because that's kind of the place where we already have a stage. We can kind of put a costume contest sign up on the projectors, make it look nice, and then hopefully we're going to have some judges. I believe Dr. Philly's volunteered to judge, and then we might need 1 to 3 senators to volunteer for that, and I believe it was on the form if you wanted to volunteer to be a judge for the costume contest. And then we actually have had prizes donated from various departments around campus so far. The athletic department donated some of those Hawaiian shirts they gave out a couple weeks ago. And then the Souls College of Business has graciously donated like enough items to make like a basket to give away to the winner. So I think we're excited about that. That's really the first time we've given away things at midnight breakfast that are not t-shirts or like our other like official station that we're doing. So hopefully it'll be something that can excite students and make them happy, and they can wear their best school appropriate beach outfit.
Does anyone have any comments, questions, or concerns?
I will add one thing. We have Stuffer Critter. Yay.
Seeing none, I entertain a motion to close midnight breakfast. All those in favor, please raise your hand. Okay, thank you. All those opposed, please raise your hand. And any abstentions? Okay, I entertain a motion to discuss the Judicial Board. That was carried and seconded. So last meeting, we kind of discussed our Judicial Board system, and I have a presentation for you guys. Nope. Okay, so as president, it is in my duties that I can create an ad hoc committee. And so this is me creating an ad hoc committee. So the committee will be titled the Constitutional Review Committee. And I'll go into the why of it. So throughout the years, we've kind of had problems with our judicial board system, whether it be the experience gap with students who sign up for the application that you guys some of you guys did to become a senator. They sign up as a justice. However, to become a justice, you need to have been a senator for one semester, as opposed to the 8 General Assembly meetings that an executive board that qualifies you to be an executive board member. And a lot of people don't know this, and it's kind of hard to figure out if someone was a senator for the full semester. Additionally, there has been organizational stagnation with having justices and a chief justice. However, because they don't meet regularly and it's a whole different group of people with different majors, different things going on in their lives, they found it difficult to meet, especially whenever the president would send people for review. And another point was that this is a systemic president, as I've discussed with the former former SFA president at UT-SAC, and we went into detail over the justice system that they have as it's similar to ours, and they brought up a lot of the same issues we had. So it seems like this is a structural issue in itself. So I propose an ad hoc committee that would be an interim, so temporary fix, charged with upholding the integrity of SGA during the current vacancy we have within the Judicial Board. So the committee will be charged with all the duties of the Judicial Board mentioned in SGA, in exclusion to Article 1.2A2, which is basically the section over justice eligibility. They will just need to meet the eligibility requirements for a senator until May 1st. And so they will be able to interpret the Constitution, they will be able to provide election oversight, and they will be able to resolve any conflicts that may come up in the next couple months. So how this would happen is to ensure that all branches are operating within their scope, and all members are bound by the SGA. All members of the committee must remain completely neutral, and they will also report their findings under the committee report section, just to maintain accountability and transparency. So the chair will be Senator Ivy Muita. She's over there in the back. The committee will be elected SGA members selected by the chair. I designate elected because technically in our Constitution, it says that the entire student body is SGA. There's a bunch of different meanings of SGA in the Constitution, so I designated it as elected. And the committee members will be selected by the chair depending on each case to make sure that each case is unbiased. And additionally, at those meetings, the SGA advisor will be there and the chief of staff or president. So the advisor will always be there, and then depending on the case, the chief of staff or the president will be there just to remain unbiased as well. Okay, that's everything. Does anyone have any questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none and hearing none, I entertain a motion to close this discussion. Okay. All those in favor, please raise your hand. Thank you. And all those opposed. And any abstentions? Okay. Does anyone have anything to add to new business? I thought I could do it. No worries. Senator Armstrong.
I would like to motion a discussion about aligning academic space with professional program success and student success. Thank you.
So basically the crux of this is, I think I shared that with you. Perfect. We would like to send out a survey about how campus hours are working for students. I've noticed a lot of times, like you get later into the day, some buildings close, people either come here, they go to the library, and we just want to make sure that, the space that is set aside for you to study in is working for you. So some of the questions that we have in here is like, what's the college that you're going to? How are the hours in your building? Does your building have study rooms? Because not a lot of some of the buildings don't, some of them do. And so it's important to know like where they're at, if you're able to find them. Again, this is all about collecting information on whether or not the system that we currently have is actually working. I know that especially when it comes down to exam season, people, libraries get crowded and that can kind of make it difficult to study there. And I think if people's respective buildings were open longer, then maybe they wouldn't have to all crowd in the library. Maybe if the library was open longer, they could spend more time there. This would also, one of the things that we should consider with this is it creates more opportunities for people that live on campus. I know we have some students that are exchange students from other countries, and they cannot leave campus. And so if their buildings aren't open and the library closes at midnight, well, what are they going to do to study? They don't want to go home to study. Maybe that doesn't work for them. However it is. Anyway, there are several questions here, open-ended questions, trying to just get a sense of where the student body is on how the campus is working for them. And I would just like to get y'all's approval on sending this out so we can collect some more information and just kind of see where the scope of the problem is. Does anybody have any questions, concerns, anything like that? No.
Yeah, I think this is an amazing initiative. It's what being a senator is about, going out and surveying your peers. I mean, with my discussion with the candidate for the dean position today, I sat down and I asked them, we have, as a student body president, we have heard feedback from so many different colleges regarding space utilization and why there's so many different nursing students in their building. Why aren't nursing students in their own building? Additionally, I will shed light that, College of Business, they are open a little bit later. They are open a little bit later. And I've heard College of Business students who have feedback regarding having different students in their building who aren't designated to their major. So I feel like this survey would be a great kickstart to different colleges kind of reevaluate how long their building opens and the need for their building to be open for studying purposes.
That's one thing when Dr. Philly was coming in here and was giving like the 2020 whatever 2027 whatever plan on how to expand the campus. That was one thing that popped up in my mind. I was like, well, if we can't really have the space for the students that are already here and we want to invite all, expand the campus and have other people try to come to our school, which is great, but we need to take care of the students that we have. A lot of people don't have the space that they need to study, and that's one thing that I think that we definitely need to get a survey on, and they like seeing numbers. So if we can get the numbers out there, then maybe that can help create more spaces or something for us, extending hours because our campus is growing.
Additionally, I'd love to see if you guys could include in the survey, possibly seeing if they utilize their residential study spaces and maybe looking at the hours and see if maybe those need to change or it needs to be more open or they need to talk a little bit more about what spaces are available for students in terms of their residential facilities as well.
I can easily add right quick to that. I just wanted to kind of gauge the temperature on how we feel about this. Obviously, we don't have to, this isn't going to change the hours right away. It's not, but kind of just gauge the temperature on campus. So if it, oh, okay. You're good. You're good. I didn't really have anything. So,
Senator Guerra, kind of like since I see all are doing this, I think it's a really good thing to ask because there are a lot of students who don't really have that access like some others. If the results of your survey kind of show this need, which I assume it will because multiple people have talked about it, would you also want to propose maybe building more? I say this as a student who's under school health professions. The building is open late, but the majority of our building is towards the gym. So we don't really have any study spaces available other than like the hallways. So that would kind of be like, would that be something y'all be willing to suggest, like maybe building more dedicated spaces, especially in those buildings that don't really have space or there's space, but they're dedicated for something else?
that's a great point because sorry about that, technical difficulties. I think that's an important point because the questions that are asked in the survey is like, does your building have study spaces? Are the hours sufficient? Well, if your building doesn't have study spaces, it doesn't really matter what the hours are if you can't study there. I think that is a valid concern, and I think that's something we should definitely bring up, especially if we have the opportunity to speak with Dr. Philly again. But that is more long term. I think we can approach this from two different angles. One is our immediate solutions. It would be great if we could open up the UC and the library for longer. Obviously, that comes with staffing implications, but the long-term solution would be, it would be great if we could renovate some of these older buildings or build independent study spaces, kind of like the library where people could go and maybe you wouldn't, like, if you're on the other side of campus, it's not really feasible for you to go all the way over to the library without having to just get in your car and move over there. And if you're going to move over there, why would you not go somewhere else to begin with? It's a whole thing. So I think we can approach that from two angles. I think that's definitely a valid point, and that's something that we should address. In the immediate foreseeable future, I think opening up the campuses longer would be like right now we can do that, and then we can talk about, because I think that's beyond our purview, building stuff. I'm not in architecture, but anyway, anything else for that? No? Okay.
Yeah. We can vote on whether we want to send this out student body wide. Yeah, I entertain a motion to vote. All those in favor, please raise your hand. Okay, thank you. All those opposed? And any abstentions? Awesome. Additionally, I did want to kind of further clarify with the electric scooter survey committee, or was that just a surveying committee? We no longer have a chair for that position. And this is a committee the Senate made. Is anyone in the committee still? Does the Senate still want to elect another chair for the position, change the name? So basically, like a constitutional requirement is that if the committee wanted to be dissolved, the Senate has to do it, but there's no procedures over electing a new chair. It's very swampy. We could elect a new chair, but it'd have to be the Senate decides it. Senator Whitsitt.
Is the committee just for all surveys or just for scooters? Like, what's our official committee?
I was not there for the meeting and I did not create the committee. So the Senate did, and you guys charged it with something.
Okay, it's working. I feel like the survey committee is important. Maybe not the scooter part, but it's important to have these surveys and have this reach because, like the pharmacy student said, that it's important when you go to Dr. Philly or like the head of your department that you have this numerical data. So I think those are important. I would honestly like to maybe have it more as a long-term thing, like if it could be added to a committee or existing in the future, or if we just made it permanent, because surveys are, I feel, at least important.
President Okafor. But yes, that is totally possible. The Senate is able to do that. But my recommendation is that you guys further clarify what the committee is charged with before making it a permanent one, just so that we have it. Additionally, it'd have to be added onto the Constitution too. And we do know a little bit about that process. I'm not saying it can't be done, but if it's an initiative that wants to be done, I implore you guys to join the Rules Committee so you guys can really spearhead it and get it in the works. Senator Orjaka.
Senator Orjaka here. I have a question. So knowing, like you said, there's no chair right now, are we able to nominate / elect a chair right now? Okay, so can I motion to do that? Okay, I nominate Senator Mitchell for the chair of the survey committee.
Yes, I accept your nomination.
Have any further nominations? Okay, so the process with that is next meeting we'll undergo a special election and we can vote on it, which will be on the 31st. Okay, does anyone have anything else to add to the discussion? Seeing none, I entertain a motion to close the survey discussion. Please wait for all comments and concerns and questions to be held after I say it. Also, Please wait to be acknowledged by the chair before you speak. Okay. I entertain a motion to close the survey discussion. All those in favor, please raise your hand. Okay, thank you. And all those opposed? Any abstentions? Okay. Does anyone have anything to add to new business? Seeing none, I entertain a motion to close new business. All those in favor, please raise your hand. Okay, thank you. All those opposed? And any abstentions? Who wants to advise your comment?
I got a little word there at the beginning of the meeting, and so I'm glad that we were able to meet quorum and welcomed all of the new additions to student government. We're filling up, which is really good. I've said it a few times, make sure you're going out and gathering data as it relates to your area, so that way when you get voice reports, you have a lot of great information. I'm excited about our senators from College of Pharmacy, and that is a really great example of how to get the student data. And so as soon as I get a ready to send email from the executive board, I will, and it's been approved by the executive board, I will get that sent out. And so I'm curious to see what that data generates. Really excited about y'all's midnight breakfast. And so y'all were, there was a lot of people last fall semester. So I'm excited to see what y'all are going to do for the spring. It's exciting. This is the most marketing I think SGA has ever done for midnight breakfast. So I'm curious to see, a little nervous about the number now. And so that's a good thing. That's a good problem to have. So a lot of exciting things going on campus. And so I hope all of you had a great spring break. Next week is homecoming. And so I would really encourage y'all to check out all the exciting events that are taking place. Midnight breakfast, the pep rally, Met Gala, the concert. That's a huge enhancement on Friday. And then Saturday, the Crawfish Bowl. So there's something big happening every day. And I think it's a great opportunity for y'all to take advantage of it and celebrate. Weather looks beautiful. And so we're very blessed and grateful on that. Interesting approach on the Judicial Board. I'm excited to see how that pans out. It has been a problem for the last several years. And so it's not just a one-time thing. Just with the same struggles of filling senator seats, it's times two that for Judicial Board. So I'm curious to see if this approach works and will maybe even lead to a constitution change, as that this could be a great solution, especially hearing that other system institutions are struggling with it too. Other than that, stay on top of your grades. For everybody, this is a friendly reminder, especially for our new senators who just got in, you have to reapply for next academic year. So everybody's term in this room expires May 1st. And so in order to be an SGA again next year, you have to reapply, be on the ballot, and get elected. If you're going to campaign, you have to have a candidacy meeting. And so all the candidacy meetings have expired. So if you need a candidacy meeting, you need to email me right away. And so that way we can knock out that meeting. And so that way you can campaign. So elections begin next week. And so we want to make sure we follow the rules on that. So if you've got questions about elections, I'll be around afterwards. Feel free to swing by and ask me any questions you might have. Other than that, that's it.
Okay, for announcements, we have midnight breakfast exactly next week. You guys need to be there at 8 p.m. Oh, happy birthday, Senator Baker. Also, additionally, if you'd like to stick around after the meeting, we're doing our safety walks. I have a checklist in my car so you guys can walk with me, and we'll kind of walk around the campus and look for anything we can report to facilities. And they are aware that we will have a list of things. Other than that, our next meeting is March 31st. And I entertain a motion to adjourn. All those in favor, please raise your hand. Thank you. All those opposed? And any abstentions? Okay, you are now adjourned.